episode of R&R on Sports, Larry and Howard discuss the NBA All-Star break and their predictions for the rest of the NBA season. Then we have a great conversation with our favorite recurring guest, Scoop Jackson. And here are your hosts, Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson.
Life is good.
Hello and welcome to R&R on Sports. I'm Howard Robertson.
And I am the fantastic one, Larry Robinson.
Hey, Larry Robinson.
What's up, brother?
How you doing, man?
Good, man. I'm digging that hat, man.
I thought about you the
I'm
other...
digging that hat,
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Is that like a pork pie?
No. Pork pie is flat on the top.
Oh, okay. Now, what do you call it?
It's like a pie. It's flat. No, that's what they call it. I tell you who wears pork pie hats all the time.
Who's that?
Bass player extraordinaire Marcus Miller. You will never see him without a pork pie hat on.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he always has it on.
Okay. All right, I got you.
So, thought about you the other night, man.
Okay. And
I was watching this team in these red and white uniforms.
Okay.
And they were called Louisville. And,
man. Come on, man. Come on, brother. Come on now. Don't do that. Don't do that. Listen. We going through a tough time.
You ain't lying.
We going through a tough time.
It's
Louisville,
rough,
man.
It's rough.
It's hard out here.
The fans understand.
It's hard out here for Cardinals.
For Cardinals.
It's hard out here for the Cards. And you gotta pay the money for the rent. You gotta make the. So anyway,
whoa, man.
I'm concerned. I'm concerned about Kenny Payne. He's going to have to get it together quickly. He basically has gotten no major recruits.
And it was just...
And I mean, literally...
Folk ain't taking him seriously. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it's bad.
Never seen nobody not taking Louisville Cardinal basketball seriously.
Well, the administration brought this on themselves, but... I'm hoping Kenny Payne can get it together. But when Milt Wagner's grandson decided to go to UK versus Louisville, I really started to be concerned then. But I can understand.
Cal ain't setting the woods on fire, but
he's still getting the best players in the country. His coaching ain't worth a damn. But obviously he's able to aggregate these players and still create a place where they feel like it's one step away from the NBA.
It's going to be interesting to me to see. I know we're supposed to be talking about something else, but it's going to be very, very interesting for me to watch college coaches, navigate the new players that they're going to be getting.
Right.
Stay tuned and watch that. That's going to be interesting as hell,
What do you mean from the perspective of the name, image, likeness deals?
Yes, Lord. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The NIL and that whole thing, because that puts a whole nother wrinkle.
Mm-hmm. It does.
In what a coach, big D1 coach, especially a legacy, legendary one like Cal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you.
And others.
Tom Izzo.
Yeah.
These coaches that have these tremendous brands themselves.
Coach K said, look, I'm going to house.
Yeah.
I'm going to house. Y'all
Coach
can have
K
this.
said, I can't deal with it.
I can't deal with this.
I don't have to deal with this.
Right.
But, I'm very interested, and I think you bring up an amazing point because, you had the kid on the football side who wanted his deal rescinded because they couldn't deliver on a $13 million NIL deal.
Wow.
Then you got, individuals like, these high profile players,
right.
They're talking about Bronny James being worth somewhere north of $8 million. And I'm saying, how do you coach a player in collegiate level that's making more than the coach?
Especially making more than the coach.
And already has a shoe deal.
What your last name is and who your daddy is.
Well, let's take Bronny. Let's take Bronny out of it. But you got players. You can look at Wagner, the Wagner kid that signed with UK. He's got tremendous NIL deals. Now he won't make more than Calipari. And then you got, Mikey Williams, that just signed with Memphis. That, once again, he's got a Puma deal already.
Okay.
He's one of the first kids to be in high school with a shoe deal. So now he walks into a Nike school with a Puma deal.
Right.
So how does that work?
Well, and exacerbated by the fact that you got a dinosaur like Calipari that's got to deal with this.
Yeah.
Ain't used to no change.
Ain't used to it.
Ain't used to no change. Ain't used to doing things significantly different than he's been doing for forever.
The kids now can quit and go to another school.
In a heartbeat.
So that is going to be, you're going to see a lot of player movement where it used to be a penalty where you couldn't play the following year.
Yeah.
You're going to have to deal with it.
We got a lot to talk about here on R&R on Sports on the Kazukian Network.
We got a great guest to do, so you better stay there.
Yeah.
You better stay there. We got a good one, the live one.
When y'all get used to leaving at this point.
Back in a minute.
Hey, it's your guy, DC. I'm back in the building here at Kazukian, bringing you the funk and funky politics Memphis. Just like our sister show, it's our news, our narratives, our way, but in our town. Y'all know how we do it around here in Memphis. Memphis is just gonna be Memphis. We're talking about that and, well, you know what? The politics, the people, the news, and the no-sirs. We talking about it all. Everything, man. Everything. Funky Politics Memphis promises to be the news you need. Tune into our launch on October 3rd on the Kazukian Network. Follow at Funky Politics Mem. That's Funky Politics MEM on social media for updates along the way. I am DC, and I'm out of here. See you soon.
Kazukian. Check out all your Kazukian favorites now. Download the Kazukian app, available on Android and iOS. Welcome to another edition of Fly on the Wall. There was a secret meeting between NBA superstar LeBron James and Cleveland Cavaliers owner Dan Gilbert. This meeting paved the way for LeBron's return to the Cavs. The only mic allowed in the room belonged to a little R&R on sports. And now you become a fly on the wall.
Baby, come back. Any kind of fool could see I was wrong, and I just can't live without you.
Hello, Brun. I hope I can still call you that. Thank you for agreeing to meet with me.
Dan, bro, listen, you know you done up, right? You know you done up. Now, you can refer to me as King from here forward. Now, let me hear you say it so that I know you understand.
King.
Now, don't you ever, as long as you short, white, and pigeon-toed, forget it.
Yes, sir, King. You know, King, sometimes in life we say unfortunately...
like you mean when you said I personally guarantee that the Cleveland Cavaliers will win an NBA championship before the self-titled former King wins one? You can take that to the bank?
Well, I guess that check bounced.
Man, shut up. DJ, hit it.
I give nothing but a beat. Pumps about to get beat down. I give nothing but a beat. Pumps about to get beat down. I give nothing but a beat. Pumps about to get beat down. I give nothing but a beat.
Okay, I'm sorry, all right? Dan still loves the King. I mean, I wear your jersey to bed every night and love it when my wife calls me Big Bronny Bron.
Oh, you must have started loving me right after you wrote the self-described former King will be taking the curse with him down south. Come pay your respects to these two big, bad, cursed rocks on my fingers. Kiss the one from 2012. Now kiss the one from 2013.
Nothing else I need to kiss, is there, King?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, there is, Danny boy. To come back to Cleveland, I need a new tattoo of your lips on my cheek, the bottom one. Let's call it a posterior posterity shot.
Come on, LeBron. I mean, King, we had 5 great years and just one bad night.
Bad night that you'll never forget. Now get down here and kiss it like I told you. You're lucky I love Cleveland.
OMG, Bron, we got a deal?
Yeah, tell your people to call my people.
Oh, okay. Here, dap me up. Don't leave a brother hanging. Now give me love, Bronny Bron.
Man, get off me. We ain't cool like that.
Okay.
This is R&R on Sports.
Success in life is not a straight line. There are twists and turns in everyone's life, and the more you know about their story, the more you'll understand the process. Kazukian Media Group proudly presents The Journey, a show that features successful Black men in Memphis telling their stories of their lives and the ups and downs they've encountered on their ultimate road to success. We believe The Journey will encourage young men and help them see that life is a journey. Watch The Journey, hosted by me, Larry Robinson. Brought to you by the Kazukian Media Group in partnership with the Delta Boule, and proudly supported by the Tennessee Valley Authority. Thank you to our partners.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports.
Back.
Lord. Listen to that. Some baritone for a change. So we're gonna. Well, we don't have to spend a whole lot of time on it.
The garbage called NBA All-Star Weekend.
You call it garbage.
The garbage you call garbage. It was garbage. It was garbage. It was garbage. But
why?
Let me mitigate it. Let me clarify. There were certain aspects of it that I thought was really, really cool. I love the dunk contest with Mac McClung.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mac McClung, because I've watched him from the highlights, from him being in high school to him signing with Georgetown, which really was interesting to me because he went to play for Patrick Ewing. I really, really enjoyed, and he was so humble. He was so humble, man. And I mean, he just literally saved the dunk contest.
And that 540?
Yes. Jesus.
Well, anytime you had to do math on the number of times, on the degrees that somebody turns around and spins.
Yeah, that was pretty amazing. And then the 3-point contest with Damian Lillard, and the fact that, he really didn't know he won. He thought that he had tied the game.
See, I didn't see the end of
ultimately, that. He won it with 1 point more than I think it was Halliburton.
Okay.
But nevertheless, just those pieces were good. I can't bring myself to watching celebrity games and all that.
No, I think they got too much stuff, man. Look,
they needed stuff in Utah. I'm serious, man. I mean, literally, man. You're talking about
now. Y'all get off of Utah just because you can't get no drink.
Because you can't get no drink.
It's a dry
you can't go nowhere. It ain't no club.
How come you can't go? No, they got clubs.
Ain't what they gonna sell in the club?
That's all right.
They gonna sell some non-alcoholic.
Yeah, root beer.
Sell Shirley Temples. Sell Shirley Temples at the game. I mean.
Like the old folks, sarsaparillas. Man, I see cowboy movies. Give me a sarsaparilla. What the hell is that? How you spell that?
But I'm trying to figure out, man. So the NBA in this all-star selection, it's been Cleveland, and you back that up with you got Indianapolis coming next year.
Okay.
You got Utah in the middle of that. Then you had previous to that, you had, you go from New York and the bigger markets down to these little cold markets. Man, it's February, man.
You gotta be equal op,
February, baby. Man. That's a vacation.
You can't be exclusive.
Listen. We've gone to many, many NBA All-Star games as a Robinson family. And I tell you, man, when you started with Toronto, now Toronto's an amazing city, but not in February, man.
Well, wait a minute. Wait. I don't know what the protocol is. Now, must it be an NBA city?
Yes.
But wait a minute. Haven't they had it in Vegas?
No.
They've never had the All-Star game in Vegas?
NBA All-Star has ever been to Vegas. Our crackpot research team find out if we had an NBA All-Star game in Vegas. But I don't think so. I really don't think so. But, man, I'm telling you, dude, I mean.
07.
In Vegas?
I knew I remembered Vegas.
They had an NBA All-Star game in Vegas.
Yeah.
I don't remember that for some reason.
That was one the Swiss family Robinson didn't go to, right?
I don't know if I want to take the kids to Vegas, man. I don't know if I'll take the kids to Vegas. Well, I mean, yes, I mean, we're looking at pictures of it. Looks real Vegas-y. But I'm serious, man. I think that it has to be a vacation. It has to be a vacation. It has to be something that families can go, and then the hoochie mamas can come to and wear what they wear. Because you can't, you can't have no skin showing in Utah. You mess around and catch frostbite. You catch frostbite in your knee or something.
They should have had Lizzo on something. And I mean, if they got a problem with skin, because that's a whole lot of it. Say, Lizzo, come on, baby. Pull your dress all the way. Pull it up.
Cut it out. Cut it out.
Let them see them hocks, baby. They got a problem with that.
Man.
So here's what I'm saying now. Just because you have an event for the fans visiting, they're for it. That's what they are there for. That doesn't necessarily mean you got to televise that. Okay. I think they televise too much stuff. And a lot of it cannot compete with the other content that's out there, viewer content that's out there for people watching.
Give me an example
of what they shouldn't televise.
Yeah, what they shouldn't televise.
The skills thing. You
don't like the skills thing?
I like it, but I mean,
it's not something I'd watch.
It ain't something. I mean, it's all right.
Yeah,
but it ain't must-see TV.
Right.
Yeah. Now I understand the Celebrity Game, and I didn't see either of these, but I understand the Celebrity Game was entertaining.
I heard.
Okay.
But once again, I cannot start on Thursday.
Would you
night.
not go to dinner, for example, to watch the Legends game?
Absolutely not. I'd be at dinner and I'd have it on DVR if that. But I mean, I still wouldn't stop. I wouldn't stop anything to watch the skills competition. And I agree with you on that. I mean, it's really no place for it. But
dunk contest, the game and the dunk contest, you got to do it. And the 3-point.
I would, you know what, man? I wouldn't mind one-on-one with the younger players. If you get some younger players playing some one-on-one ball game to 5 or something like that, or horse or something, something that shows the creativity and ingenuity and innovative mindset of the players, I can get that. But can it be fixed? I'm not sure that the All-Star game in its current constitution itself can be fixed, because it was absolutely horrible.
Well, I mean, they changed the format. They're trying.
They're trying. I give them that. I give them that. They're trying. But I mean, this was the worst watched All-Star game in history. And that really is disappointing to me. Hey. I mean, it's disappointing because it's a game I absolutely love. And I think that they are trying too much stuff when it's the game. It's the game. And can it be fixed? I would like to see, in all honesty, I would like to see a mid-season tournament that means something. Where the top 5, 6, 8 teams play, and they really play.
What would it mean?
I mean, it would mean something more than an All-Star game. Maybe all of them in maybe 4, maybe 8 teams in one city.
They're in the middle of the season. Yeah. You expect them to take that seriously?
Yeah, not games that don't mean anything. I mean, these games mean something.
Okay.
These games would mean something. But it's converging everything about the NBA onto a city. You got a tournament play.
It's halftime for the season.
Yeah, it's halftime of the season,
tournament that ain't gonna work.
Oh man, I think it is. I think it will work. They do it in soccer. I think it's a fun time. It gives the players and the families an opportunity to be in a space where there are more players, more teams. You literally get to have those rivalries there. I think it could be a really cool thing. I really do.
All right. Run that by Alan.
I will. I'll run it by Adam.
Run it by Adam. We have a tremendous guest, and he is an old friend, and he is here on the regular, and we're going to keep it that way. His name is Brother Robert Scoop Jackson. And we got him right here on R&R on Sports. Right after Lionel Richie gets through. Back for more R&R on Sports after this.
Hey, I'm your host, Cynthia Daniels.
And I'm your co-host, Williams Brack. And Grindset takes a deep dive into the mentality of the entrepreneur in Memphis.
This show unpacks the entrepreneurial journey. What's your Grindset?
So make sure to check us out on your favorite podcast provider.
Grindset on the Kadzukian Network.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. We are thrilled to have with us. This is Old Home Week. This is our main man. Oh, Lord, please. Scoop Jackson, ESPN analyst and all-around sports bon vivant.
What?
You talking French?
You talking French?
See?
Woo, that boy got skills.
That's right. Scoop, welcome back to R&R on Sports, brother.
Thanks, fellas. Good seeing y'all. Happy New Year, man.
Thank you, man.
Happy New Year to you.
So
Happy
I'm going to take this thing. I'm going to take this thing over in terms of approach. Now, Larry, you can say something every now and again, but we're going to go. Here's one. I got so much I want to hear from you. We have so much we want to hear from you.
No, don't be speaking for me.
We want to go from the macro to the micro, from the general to the specific. So I'm going to call out something and you just riff on it. All right? Okay. Go for it. Let's start with the Super Bowl.
Good game. Played into the fact that if you really look at what's been happening probably over the throughout 2022, it carried over. Look at all of the final kind of games and matches that we've had, and it stayed consistent with that. The World Series was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The U.S. Open was amazing. The World Cup was amazing. You know what I'm saying? I'm going down the line. Every time we got to a final situation, it's been lately in 2022, everything has been great. So we got a carryover now of the, Super Bowl being amazing. So, I kind of put it in the context of that it stayed true to what we've become used to that recently, at least within this year. The final game has been good, good.
Did you predict the Chiefs?
Yeah, I did. I picked the Chiefs to win, even though I'm kind of one of those guys that watches from the outside and paid attention from the outside because I still got my NFL issues. But yeah, I kind of did strictly based on, and it kind of proved to be true that we have not reached the point yet, I don't think, where a team that doesn't have a running attack beyond its quarterback,
mm-hmm.
and their quarterback is not, a 400-yard a game passer,
right,
can beat a team in the Super Bowl that has one of those, elite quarterbacks, in the pocket quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think we got to that stage. It was great to see Mahomes, and Jalen in the game and Hurts go against each other.
Mm-hmm.
But going against a team like the Chiefs, no disrespect, your quarterback can't be your leading rusher.
No.
And you know what I'm saying? And with Jalen Hurts being that quote unquote, I hate to say the stereotypical athletic, two-tier black quarterback that basically is as dangerous with his feet as he is with his arms.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Unless you got like a, Marshawn Lynch back there to balance that out, you're not going to beat the teams like the Chiefs, who got a guy that can throw for 400, but at least got somebody in the back that could equal the running yards of the other team's quarterback.
Right.
The Chiefs got a backfield that can give you 70 to 100 yards every game.
Yeah.
But if all you're going to get in your backfield from Philly is 70 to 100 yards a game, and that's coming from your quarterback, and your quarterback cannot match a guy like Patrick Mahomes on passing yardage.
Yeah. You're in trouble.
You know, you got to find a way to beat that, and that didn't happen. So that's kind of why I looked at, you know, Kansas City still in position to win this game. And it wound up being true. Now, if Philly goes out and they stay healthy next year, but they find, like, I'm not going to say it's going to happen. I'm not going to say like Saquon Barkley ends up in Philly. But if Saquon Barkley ends up in Philly, it's a whole nother conversation. Because now Jalen Hurts can still average and be dangerous on the run.
Right.
But now you got to respect their run game twice.
Right.
Now you got Saquon who can get you more than 70. He can get you, 90 to 120 in any given game, while Jalen Hurts is still giving you 70 on the ground and putting up 200 in the air. That's what's going to be tough for some team like Kansas City to beat. And until Philly gets that,
Now we are talking about a 3-point win here, and in addition to that, we are talking about the Chiefs got a couple real questionable calls against the Bengals, as well as this last game in the Super Bowl with the holding call. So I mean, I don't see. I get it. I get what you're saying, but I'm saying that this game could have gone the other way easily.
You're exactly right. But I'll point this one thing out. After they got over whatever was happening and getting adjusted, whatever Kansas City was doing in the first half, did you see how fast and easy it was for them to score in the second half?
Yeah.
And take that along how long it took Philly to put up those points, especially in the second half. So I hear what you're saying, but let's get down to it. That last drive of the game, right? Let's say that call was not made.
Okay.
All right. That gives Philly the ball. And where did they get the ball and how much time was left on the clock? Like a minute 20. I forgot how much was on the clock. But they got to go 80 yards, right?
They got to go. Right. Yeah, they got to go the length of the field almost.
But I still say they got a field goal. I mean, it was a very match.
Okay, what I'm saying is that tell me where in the course of that game they had gotten 60 yards in a minute 20 against a defense that knows what you're going to do, because you got to do it now.
Right. Okay. That's true. All right.
And that's what I'm saying. So here's the thing. You got to be real selective when making that assessment on this game, because Lord forbid, if they leave any time on the clock before they kick that field goal, Kansas City shows we can score in 2 plays. Now, if it goes in overtime, you know what Kansas City's gonna do the minute they get the ball.
That's true.
So let's say they do get the last play and they get the field goal. Kansas City's scoring immediately. Now, are we guaranteed that Philly's gonna score? They may kick a field goal on their first possession in overtime if they get the ball. But Kansas City showed you in the second half, we can score quick. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying. You're not lying at all.
Lying. I give you
so next one that we ain't gonna have to spend as much time on. All-Star game, NBA All-Star game.
Because that just totally blew your whole premise of it being great all the way up. Because the All-Star game just literally was the most horrendous thing I've ever seen.
How you really feel about it?
Oh, man. Lord, I'm going to let Scoop talk about it, because I'm going to talk about it.
I thought it was
and somebody who came out of television. If you've seen have you seen the numbers? Have you seen the ratings?
Oh, the ratings, yeah. I've seen it, but I don't think that had anything to do with the game being played per se. I think that there was a lot of other factors going into that, especially injuries, but I don't think that had anything to do with the game being played per se. I think injuries and people not playing, and I don't think it really helped that, the 2 captains weren't even in the game,
You like the format? You like this format?
I thought, the selecting right before the game?
Selecting right before the game, the by quarter, da.
Well, here's the, okay, I'll put it this way.
Elam ending.
Right, no, I think, to me, last year's All-Star game was one of the most fun games I had seen in a long time. And partially that's because of the show Steph Curry put on, if y'all remember. I know Jalen dropped, Jason dropped 55, but the 50 that Steph dropped last year was just.
It was fun. That was fun.
Right. So I'm saying is that I can't look at one game and answer your question, say, I don't like the performance, when last year I had a hella good time watching the game. You know what I'm saying? I can't be that type of hypocrite.
Same format, yeah.
Right, same format, same game. What you did is, and even though Jason's performance was decent, it wasn't the show that Steph put on. So my answer to this is the format is fine. I just think in this particular All-Star game that there was so many people not participating that it's gotten to the point that you still need star power in the game to bring people's interest into it.
Yeah.
And you are missing, you're missing Kawhi, you're missing Giannis because you know he's hurt. You're missing Zion Williams because he's not hurt. You're missing Steph Curry, who put on the show last year because he's hurt. You know, none of the other Warriors are there. You know, I can go down the line. Who else wasn't there? We go down the line. A lot of players that just weren't there.
A lot of players.
KD wasn't there. It was a big one.
Right.
KD wasn't there. So I think you're coming into the game and like, it's a lot of top 10 players in the league that didn't play this year because of injury, and a lot of people who have transitional name recognition, like going beyond a diehard NBA fan. Because if you take Giannis being hurt, and, if you turn on the game and see Giannis make one play and they take him out, all right, now you turn the TV because not only is Giannis not there, KD ain't there, Steph ain't there, Kawhi ain't there. And like I said, these are transitional players, and Zion.
Yeah.
Those are 5 players with first name bases that go beyond just your regular diehard basketball fan. So right off the bat, you taking the L right there. So I think that has a lot to do with the ratings as opposed to just, the game not being.
Now, speaking of the ratings, when I said what I said, it was not from a point of knowledge. I have not seen the ratings. So my next question is, were they in the tank?
The lowest in history.
Was it?
Yeah, they were like the lowest in last year.
I didn't ask that question with that understanding. So
the ratings were bad.
Okay, I didn't know that.
They only had 6 million people watching the game.
Oh, wow.
They had more people watch the Pro Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
More people watch the NFL Pro Bowl than the NBA.
Yeah. The ratings were bad.
Okay.
I also think that it being in Utah also had an impact. I think nothing is aspirational. I had NBA friends that were like,
wasn't going.
I'm not going. I'm not going unless I'm being made to go. I'm not going. And
right, but I don't know if that has anything to do with the ratings, though. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I get it, but I still say you got to have some. I think there's a different air when the game is in Chicago, when the game is in New York,
right.
There's some kind of air to it. There's nothing aspirational. Nobody wanted to be there in Utah.
Right, I get you. I get you. That's a fair point.
That's where I'm looking at it in the standpoint.
Yeah, but here's the deal, and I think that's a great point, but. What are you going to do about it? You have to give every team a fair, you can't just say, all right.
Absolutely.
Right. It's not like the NFL has it lucky where they can take the Super Bowl, or other things out of their picture because of weather or because of dome.
Mm-hmm.
The NBA, in all fairness, if that is a problem, they have to find a way to work around that problem because there's nothing they can do about that. At some point, every team has to have a shot at the All-Star game.
That's true.
And hotel rooms are the primary driving factor.
I get it. But I still say that when Shaq and Barkley are both saying this is the most boring city in the country on national TV during the game, they got a problem. Now, I am just as an aside, I'm really leaning toward this mid-season tournament as opposed to an all-star game because I think that is more. I need to see the players playing. They weren't playing. They didn't play. No one played any defense at all. I mean, it was literally.
No, they were playing. They were playing. They were playing like they were playing basketball.
No. I mean, literally, didn't nobody get checked? I mean, cats are going down letting cats shoot. I mean, I'm just, it's horrible, man.
Wait, they don't.
That's not the way I want to see ball game played.
They don't.
I mean, but wait, you act like that once again. I don't think you heard what I said. You act like they're playing defense during the regular season.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
They're doing a little better. They're doing a little better.
Yeah, so all those 150 scores and 71, come on, man.
That's defense, right? That's defense. We got much.
The game is what it is.
We got much, much more with Scoop Jackson here only on R&R on Sports right after this.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
April Ryan, who, of course, you know as a journalist, author, White House correspondent for the Griot, amazing parent. What you may not have known is that April Ryan was and can always have to be, because you can't just be this in the past, and that is a jazz DJ.
That's right. I can throw that jazz voice on anytime.
Human Speed with Kirk Whalum.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R on Sports. Scoop Jackson talking about a plethora of stuff. So while we were on the NBA All-Star, let's knock off the All-Star part of it. Talk to us about NBA. What you seeing, what you thinking. And all of that.
Does Adam Silver and them have a problem? They got a problem, man. They got a problem with this load management. They got some issues that they're going to have to address in this upcoming CBA.
Well, you still got another, how long before the CBA comes up? It's not next year, it's year after next, right?
They talking about it now. They just extended the negotiations twice. They're saying they got to get a new CBA in place immediately because both are able to opt out of it. And supposedly,
I thought they weren't able to opt out I thought they weren't able to opt out until next year. I don't know.
Maybe not. But they've extended negotiations twice because I think they got some kind of deadline that's imposed. So I'm just saying that, with both of them really seeming to be unhappy with the current arrangement, I believe that they're gonna make a big deal out of this.
I think they probably are. Maybe, and it's going to be interesting to see how they actually play this. I think that's a big issue. It's going to be hard for them, I think, to negotiate with certain terms and keep it authentic. Because I still don't know what you can set in place that the Players Association is going to agree to if you start adding stipulations to players' contracts that they only get paid if they reach a certain amount of games during the season so that you can avoid what they're calling load management. Or you have to play, if you sit out one game, you can't sit out one game, you have to sit out 5. Because it has to be a real injury. It can't just be like you're cherry picking where you decide to. There's a lot of that going, but also I think the other big problem, which I think is probably equal to something that none of us really talk about, is the owners. And I think the owners are probably going to also push back on player movement.
Oh, very much so.
Right. That's going to be another big clause that they're going to bring up in this, and how much they've lost control of player movement and how much the owners want back control of where they decide players are going to go. Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I think is going to be just as big a problem as the load management situation. Now, on the other side, what's really going to be interesting, especially if you look at the value of where these franchises are right now, well, I think almost every franchise in the NBA is worth over $2 billion. The owners are going to have to open up their books in order to prove that they are actually not making money or losing money because or directly due to players not being available. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're financially making money, but you're trying to get me to play more, if I'm part of the Player Association, prove to me that you're losing money because our players are not on the court. And that means you have to open up the books to prove that. But if the value of your team is rising, but you're complaining about the labor not being available, what are we arguing? Unless you prove it to me. So I think that is going to be interesting. It's really, really, really going to be. And the fourth tier in this is how that split's going to change. I think right now the revenue split is 57-43 maybe players. I think you're gonna watch.
Is that wide? I thought it was more close to 50-50 almost on basketball related income.
That's what I thought.
Well, let's definitely look at it. Find out what that split is.
Yeah, I think the split is going to be more shifting back to the owners. And what are they going to do as far as increasing salary cap year to year?
Well, they're about to get a new media deal, and they're looking at all this connected TV.
To your point, if the numbers are down, like we're just talking about the All-Star numbers a couple of in the last segment,
right?
But if you if the NBA looks across the board and say their numbers are down in subscriptions to NBA TV to games, if the numbers are down in attendance, if the numbers are down in TNT, ESPN, ABC, in their partnerships, if the media numbers are down, what does that package really mean?
Absolutely. Kyrie, KD.
It's interesting you asked that because I do think, and it's going to be interesting to see how they play themselves out. I'm not saying that either one will win the West or win the championship, but I do think those two trades make both of those teams the most dangerous teams in the West in the playoffs at any state. I think those are the two teams that are going to be the hardest teams to beat in a 7-game series. I looked it up and down, and I'm like, Denver can be beaten in a 7-game series. Memphis can be beaten in a 7-game series. The Clippers can get beat 7-game series. Minnesota can be beat. I'm looking at everybody and saying that I can find ways that this team can be beat. If everybody's healthy on Phoenix and Dallas, I'm like, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's because they have those players that can literally by themselves win games in series.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can. They do. They really
and
do.
Those, especially with Kevin and Kyrie, those two players, if healthy, have help.
Right.
They ain't got to win 4 out of the 7 games.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Man, so that's that. I mean,
so you got to Kevin to get 50.
I think that's a shift in balance. I think that shift in balance changes everything in the West. Everything in the West. Not saying that they're winning, but those are the two teams that stand out to me that are going to be the hardest to beat in the 7-game series.
Where you see the Lakers ending up with the rejiggered roster?
Jeopardy.
That's a tough one. Because when you think about something like that, you also have to think about other teams. You just can't think of the Lakers. Right. So is Utah going to fall off? Is Portland going to fall off? Is Oklahoma City going to fall off? And yeah, you know what I'm saying? It has to happen both ways. It's like watching a blowout. Blowouts happen because two things. One team is hot and the other team, they can't hit anything. It's not one team, And that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, I can't just look at the Lakers and say, all right, man, now that they got, D-Russ, they got, Beasley there. Everything's into, the Westbrook, whatever drama that is going.
They got whatever issues with Westbrook.
They can concentrate on basketball. I don't know over the course of 22, however many games they got left, if they can go 16-6 and the other teams not play 500, 600 basketball. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be tough. Now, that said, depending on where they land, if I sat up here and said I could see the Lakers getting into the 9-10 spot, and at least getting into the play-in, right? What does that really mean? Okay. You know what I'm saying? What if they make it? Is that a moral victory? What are we really saying?
Yeah, that's a moral victory.
Because no, seriously, so if they get in the play-in, real talk, right now the way it stands, if they get in the play-in, I can see them maybe beating a Minnesota Timberwolves, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
If the Pelicans are healthy, do you really see them beating the Pelicans?
I do. I actually see only two teams.
If the Pelicans are healthy and they are healthy,
I see two teams in the West that could really, the Lakers can't touch really, and that's Phoenix and Dallas. Outside of Phoenix and Dallas, I see the Lakers being the third best team in the league.
So you think they can beat a healthy Denver?
Pretty much.
The Lakers?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Especially with Bamba being as athletic as he is and being able to be out on the floor with a Jokic. I definitely think so. And then I think what do you have for LeBron? What do you have for for AD?
Well,
I mean, I don't think you got anything.
I got to say, I hate to say it, I have the same thing you do. We're all sitting here waiting to see
what. Yeah.
I'm trying to be as fair as possible in this answer.
I got you.
One is when AD's gonna get hurt again. I'm being real about that.
No, that's fair. That's a very fair. Hey, man, I'm telling you,
that has been the journey. That's been the journey and the issue.
Yeah,
and how severe his injury is. Correct.
Right.
Okay, but the second, it's not just AD. I'm not singling him out like this. And the second is LeBron going to be healthy? Because if you really look at the last two seasons, when has his injury happened? On the back end of the season.
Yep. Yeah.
So he's played harder, possibly this season, to get them to where they are than he has the last two seasons. And he's playing his ass off the last two seasons because if you remember, I think it was last year he had a chance to win the scoring title.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I think he shut it down so he wouldn't win the scoring title on that one.
He did, but my thing is that he's like, it was pointless because we weren't winning. My thing is this. The last two seasons, LeBron has had to deal with post-All-Star game injuries. So is this going to repeat itself? And are we waiting for LeBron to catch that injury? And listen what I'm saying. This situation is so tight that I'm not saying a major injury that knocks him out for the season. I'm talking about an injury that could be a heel or a small high ankle sprain that could keep him out 5 games, and that's their season.
Yeah.
They need to go like 16-6, 15-5. They can't afford to lose anybody for a stretch of games that's longer than 2.
That's true. Last 2 minutes, I want you to talk about not from a win-loss or whatever perspective, but from marketing perspective and kind of as an NBA observer of long time, what do you think about the Grizzlies in terms of image, in terms of personality and all of that?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I'm one of those guys that love the Grizzlies, and I love their confidence, and I hate that word swag because, you know, it's so played at this point.
It's played at this point. Yeah, it's kind of old.
Yeah, but I love
but we understand.
I love what they step to the table with when it comes to them. Like they love them some them. Mm-hmm. And as my mother told me, you know, a black man in America without any arrogance ain't gonna amount to shit.
Oh, wow.
Wow. A black man in America without any amount of arrogance won't amount to
with no arrogance. And the Grizzlies got all that arrogance that you have to love.
Mm-hmm.
So they carry that with them. My only concern, well, I have 2 concerns. One, is going up against certain teams if they're able to sustain that in a way that wins them victories.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yes.
And just because you have that arrogance does not mean that going against teams like a Denver, like a Clippers,
right?
Like a Phoenix, like a Dallas, especially Dallas, who was just there last year, like a Golden State, that your arrogance alone is going to carry you over those teams that have their own set of arrogance. And that's the reason they've been there before. So you have to be able to overcome that. The second thing that worries me a little bit about them, and it kind of starts with how they came into the season and how Ja has all of a sudden become polarizing.
Yes.
Nationally.
Yes.
How they made that arrogance, which I didn't find anything wrong with him saying he's not concerned about anybody in the West, is what you're supposed to say. But they almost turned that into a negative against him. And then the situation with Shannon Sharpe played itself out. And then they got that quote unquote thug tag put on him.
Yeah.
So those two things are not working against them because now they're not shining the way they were this time last season. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think there's a fine line, and you all know this, about being beloved and being behated.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, the Memphis Grizzlies are walking that line.
Right.
And I don't want that to become counterproductive against them come playoff time. Because sometimes, especially if you're a young team, you can take that us against the world thing too far and it winds up hurting.
Mm-hmm.
And I can actually see that happening to them if it's not controlled or harnessed in a way that doesn't distract what they need to do on the basketball court against teams who are just as confident, if not just as arrogant as they are.
Right.
Funny to me how they come out with the thug tag after the Shannon Sharpe incident. That's just.
Well, I think
who was the
well, wait a minute, but hold on. I think it also goes to the whole thing with the gun, with the laser on the on the pistol and all that kind of stuff with the Indiana Pacers. I think there's been a few things, and then the unwarranted arrogance because they went on a losing streak like nobody's business after you say I'm not worried. I'm not worried about anybody in the West.
Yeah.
To me, it's just simply this. You haven't gotten past the second round.
Yeah. Yeah.
Shut your mouth and play ball.
Well, yeah, I said it in the show, shut up and dribble. That's
right. But here's the deal. We have to keep in mind with them. In their mind, and this is where their arrogance comes from, in their mind, the only reason they get past second round is because of Ja's injury. In their mind, that title last year was there. They're like, the Warriors wouldn't have gotten us if it wasn't for this injury. Even though Ja missed a lot of games last year, he had to be on the court. So while everybody else is saying, y'all need to chill because y'all hadn't got past second round, that's not their mentality. And if you all are honest and you all are there, if they didn't have that mentality, they would not be able to sustain who they are as a basketball team. They need that.
Absolutely.
And being Memphis, a small market team, Memphis needs
Memphis has that.
Yes.
There's a sign that people at the game say have sometimes, Scoop, says us against everybody.
Memphis against
Memphis against everybody.
Everybody.
And you need that. So it has to carry something because that's your sixth man. Yeah. That's your advantage. Yeah. And that's their advantage.
Yeah.
See, the problem is what I'm saying is that they're trying to take that advantage and nationally hold it against you. And trust me, that can weigh very heavy on a young team.
Absolutely. And like that's legacy too, because that goes back to Tony and Zach.
Exactly. Well, I think with Tony and Zach and Mark and all that. I think they weren't in the same conversation that we're talking about now.
Right.
Because I think they just had to grind.
Right.
They didn't. This team grinds from the front of the line.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? They're like, yo, we're up here. We here. We outside.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We outside. We don't care. So, well, Tony and Zach and that whole crew, they'd have been like, yeah, you know what? It was unfortunate that we got beat, last year by the defending champions. We got that. We learned from it. That would be their MO. Right. Not these dudes.
No.
They're like, no, they didn't beat us.
Nah, they different.
Right. They did not beat us.
They are right.
We don't even look at that as an L. The only reason that happened was because of this. Right. Seriously.
The L stand for limping.
Still, for them, I hope the L stand for learning. That's all.
Learning. I hope. Say that.
How to foster that. And once the playoff comes, because it's easy to do during the regular season. But come playoff time, especially now the way the West is stacked, it's a different game, man. It's a different game. And I hope this doesn't become a wake-up call to them. And if y'all, last thing, I'm trying to get along with it, but let's be honest. Part of the reason that they got the thug tag on them because of how they carry themselves.
Yeah.
Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Y'all know that.
Yeah.
Well, Dillon Brooks. I think Dillon Brooks. I think Dillon Brooks is father thug.
Yeah.
But it goes to everything. It goes to everything that they are, and America still to this day is not used to a certain type of black freedom.
Black man. No, true that.
And the Memphis Grizzlies are, for the most part, a 12-man version of what a certain part of black freedom looks like.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, they love them some them, they doing them.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do it that freely and you do it that unapologetically, it can rub a lot of people in this country the wrong way.
Most people in this country the wrong way. Scoop, man, thank you so much.
As always, my man.
As always.
I ain't one of those people. I'm going to get on record. I ain't one of those people.
Good. Because, Memphis ain't nothing but the deep south side of Chicago, right?
That's all.
That's it.
Hey, we all get. Hey.
Anytime you can look up on the interstate sign and see Memphis in Chicago, which you can.
Thank you.
It ain't far away.
Everybody in Chicago know where we came from.
That's up south, baby. Hey, thank you so much, man.
Chicago. Hey, y'all come to Chicago. We got T-shirts that say the migration was real.
That's right. We appreciate you being with us, man, and look forward to having you back. We'll be back for more R&R on Sports right after this.
Blues in the basement. Indeed, I like that song a lot.
Ooh, I'm like my girl. She was singing that.
Bobby will tell you about his wives.
Wives, yeah. Well, yeah.
And what's the title?
It is Going Back to Memphis.
Why wouldn't that be in here? That boy can sing.
Oh, he can sing.
I didn't say sing. That boy can sing.
It was a featuring.
He does not feature her name.
Well, dang.
And he does it on purpose.
Okay. No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Shoes
the
up.
lies you tell.
You are listening to Blues in the Basement. Blues in the Basement. Blues in the Basement, powered by Kadzukian.
That's it.
Kadzukian. Check out all your Kadzukian favorites now. Download the Kadzukian app, available on Android and iOS.
This is R&R on Sports.
Welcome back to R&R as we head toward the door.
See ya.
Door.
Dough. We heading toward the door?
Yeah. Hold the door, hold the door, hold the door. Three brothers running to the elevator. That's the rest of that joke. Okay, so
as we are leaving,
we
typically do a shout out.
Yes, we do. And this one is a homer, and very special to me because I'm from Memphis, Tennessee, and I grew up in a time where we played baseball. We came from fathers and grandfathers and uncles and whatnot that were huge baseball fans. Growing up black in the South or anywhere you were growing up black, by and large, you rooted for the National League. And this is a guy that grew up in Memphis. He was a catcher. And I came to understand that one of his big idols was Josh Gibson. And his name was Tom McCarver. Tim McCarver, not Tom. Tim McCarver, who just passed away.
Tim McCarver Stadium.
What did you know? What Tim McCarver Stadium named after? Right. What did you know about Tim McCarver?
Man, just he was a great baseball player. Yeah. Back, he's that 80-year-old man. So the fact that he was playing in a time where there was a serious division between black players and white players, and for him to be brought up in Memphis and to be outspoken in his love for many of the black players kind of surprised me, actually.
It shouldn't, though. It shouldn't. Because what a lot of people don't understand is what is quintessentially Memphis is us all being exposed. Memphis is the most diverse place ever in terms, not just ethnically, but rich and poor, country and city, all of that stuff, all together.
It's all right here.
We were exposed to each other.
I think it's a part of being a river city also.
Absolutely. Totally.
And
totally.
I think it does. I mean, you're right. Memphis is such a diverse city, but man, it's still, when I look at an 80-year-old guy during that time, my mind doesn't go to him being a transcendentalist thinker, because he's thinking beyond his current situation.
But it was how he came up, though, Larry. It was how he came up.
Wow. Okay.
It was how he came up. He came up exposed in terms of that. Now, he went to CBHS.
Yeah.
CBHS grad.
Right.
And
that's Christian Brothers High School, for you all that don't know.
Yes.
A very prominent Catholic school. Very similar to
I am sure he watched. He was down in Bellevue Park, sometimes watching some Negro League playing.
Probably so.
Absolutely.
Probably so.
Or Martin. Oh, wow. Or Martin Stadium.
Oh, the Martin brothers. With the Martin brothers who own multiple Negro League teams.
Absolutely.
So, man,
rest well.
Absolutely.
Tim McCarver.
Rest in power.
Absolutely. We are going to get out of here. We appreciate you being with us here on On Sports and urge you to talk about us, tell everybody about us, and always catch us. Download the Kadzukian app.
Absolutely.
From your favorite app provider. Download the Play Old app so you can get us wherever you go as well. We're on that, and just be here next week. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'm Harvard.
I am Larry. Peace.
I'm
Larry. I'm Larry. And my name is Larry. And I like a girl. Now, hey, man, float. We gonna float on out the door. See y'all later, man. Next week. Peace.
Float on.
R&R is hosted by Larry Robinson and Howard Robertson. R&R is directed, produced, recorded, and distributed by Kadzukian.